What's up, everybody? Anthony here, Reflection Concept, reflectionconcept.com. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out the video. If you take a quick second, hit that subscribe button if you dig my content. Greatly appreciate that. That small gesture really goes a long way in allowing me to continue to bring out some content. Everything's been very bass-oriented as of late, and it's kind of a natural progression with me because I'm a bassist. I love the bass guitar. It's something that for the last 30 years of my life has been really a focal point of my life. If you go back in my videos, though, interestingly enough, the first video I did for this channel was actually a painting video. And some of you may or may not know that I'm also an artist. I'm a graphic designer by trade. So I went to school for graphic design. But I love abstract art. I love painting. And the first video I put on this channel was me showing and describing some of that process that I like to use for creating some of that art. So I would encourage you to go back and check out that video. It's just kind of an interesting ulterior take on some of my creative paths, I guess, if that makes sense. We're taking a look at my new pedal board. And I want to focus really on one aspect of it. And I want to focus on the HX Stomp XL or an HX Stomp. So I use it kind of in a hybrid mode depending on the musical situation, right? A non-gig specific way that I like to use this. So basically this is now 6 effects. I have these, the bank buttons here assigned to different presets. So basically I'm in like 6 button mode here. And if I want to change that, I just click the mode, then I can bank up and down. So if I want to access things that are up or down on my effects list, I can do it. But we're going to leave that for there right now. So I have my clean setting in there, right? And this is all this is an LA2A compressor in it. No cab sim, no nothing. Now I do have a cab sim on this effect. As you can kind of see here if this camera picks it up. I have a B15 cab, which I thought I changed to a 410 cab because I didn't want something that colored quite as much as the B15. Regardless, it's off and it's not going to be on because I just don't need it right now. Check out the low B string on this Elric, a quick aside. It's so good, 35 scale, so it should be. So that's clean. And if I bypass HX Stomp, you hear where there's a little bit of gain drop. A considerable amount. But I consider this clean. And I don't have my tuner or the tap function on. I have that as bypass. I feel safer with that, so to speak. Something goes wrong. If I do get, mixed up in settings in this thing, I can just bypass. I'll figure out the gain issue that happens there. It's fine, right? That's my little safety net. So clean, just some compression, very light. And then, so in this like Stompbox mode where I have just 6 pedals, I have an octave up sound, which is a little bit of work in progress still. I'm very picky about octave up stuff. That's a light bit of reverb on that as well in there automatically. Then a really cool octave down sound that I'm in love with because it's a little different than any octave pedal that I've had in the past. It really tracks and sounds great in same position. So clean. Flip on that octave. It's so good. It's so fat and like it has a buoyancy to it that is just really nice. And it's cool up when you jump up here. It's still like juicy enough. I have some modulation and things on that already, which is something, again, I like that in this mode. Well, I like that about the HX Stomp, that you can apply these subtle effects that aren't anywhere else on your board within one preset, right? And I like it in this preset mode because I can have all these different signal chains on each preset rather than snapshot mode. I'm kind of married to what's in that one preset. And I'll show you why that works for something else. Then a ring mod, because I had to replace, that was a pedal that this was really replacing, was the EHX frequency analyzer. It's got enough subs. It gives me enough punch through it. I like it way more than the DoD Gonkulator, which I own. I never loved that pedal from the low end perspective, but I liked what it gave me from like a searing top end. The EHX frequency analyzer, there's nothing better than the subs on that, I think, like from a ring mod, but it takes a fully different power supply. It has like the 40 volt power supply. It sparks when you plug it in. And it takes up a considerable amount of pedal board real estate. So it was nice to get a sound. Got to have a ring mod for the ambient stuff if I want to kind of go atonal in it. Love that. Then an envelope filter. I just reworked this one. Not my favorite slap bass here with this 6-string with narrower string spacing, even though it's still pretty wide for a 6. You can see it says giant neck on it. Just don't love slapping on a 6, but that's not what I have it for. I got plenty of basses that sound great for slap, but this envelope's cool. Still has nice, good low end to it, right? And then this synth bass setting, which I called it synth bass. It's almost more fuzz bass. I almost think the Octaver is a better synth thing, but this sounds really cool. I guess when I'm playing simple and longer notes, it does have a synth-ish feel to it. But it's also kind of like a fuzz bass thing. And then, not that I want to spend too much time on the rest of the board, right? And we're not even going to talk about the MXR layers because that's going to be its own video, right? And we're not going to talk about the SY200. But it's nice having the overdrive later on. It's its standalone thing. If I want to plug that on to any of these sounds, so we got that synth bass. If I want to add just a little bit of extra something to it, or on the clean sound. Varying degrees of bite that I can add later on. And there's nothing finer than the pork loin. I have a pork and pickle, it's on a different board. I'm going to leave that overdrive up, was digging that. And then like on the octave down. That's very synthy there, huh? Like a low pass filter. But nonetheless, and octave up, take that off. I can just add a quick reverb on. I don't have to do anything in the HX Stomp there because, again, this mode isn't gig specific to me. And we'll get into the tensor in another video too. That's such a cool pedal that can kind of have its own dedicated video for sure. Now, so that's when I use this in Stompbox mode. Now, on the cover band gig that I have for the summer, as I hit mode, I go back to like switch. These no longer become preset switches. They bank up and down. It gives me access to other sounds. I have a few things I'm working on in there, but I have one here. This is preset 12, right? And this is 90s is what it's called. It's a 90s cover band that I'll be working with. And in that case, I'll probably plug just right out of I'll take this whole board, freak people out that I'm going to be playing all this crazy stuff on these tunes. But really, I'm just going to run the line from the HX Stomp to the Una to the color box out. So all this stuff behind here is not necessary for the gig. I have good self-restraint, I feel like, but it's just, there's no sense in even having it in the chain, right? So in 90s, now when I hit mode here, I'm going to jump into a snapshot mode, right? So I have clean, pick, heavy, and chorus. The chorus is still a work in progress, but really these three sounds, right? Very, very simple. Whoop, no, I don't want to do anything there. So these three sounds, very simple, very straightforward for the songs that at least I've learned so far, and it's a pretty big book. But I have clean, which is the same. What is the cab sim I have on here? And I like it always on in this case. So I have that same LA2A compressor that I copied from my clean tone from preset mode. And I have an Ampeg 410 cab on there, right? And then I also have a Gallion-Kruger amp. I have the Prize Drive, which I don't know what that is supposed to be. And I have 70s chorus, right? So I'm assuming that's kind of like is that like an MXR chorus or is that a Boss chorus? Who cares, right? It's the 70s chorus in there. All of which I've tweaked some parameters in there, right? Pretty basic stuff. But in this snapshot, I just have the LA2A, or their version of it, again, tweaked to my liking, and the 410 cab. So this is what I would consider my clean tone, representing most of that material that I'm playing fingerstyle on in this cover band, right? And I'm usually playing my modulus 5-string in that, so a lot of the stuff is detuned that those guys are doing. So I don't like having a bass in E flat, because then some of the tunes aren't played on a 5-string, right? With a pick. And some of the tunes require more of like, I guess for lack of a better term, like a punk kind of pick sound on it. There's a couple Green Day tunes or whatever. And here, now you see I have the compressor still on. I'm engaging the Gallion-Kruger. And I still am going through the 410 cab, right? So in snapshot mode, I don't add anything new into the signal chain. It's just a matter of activating what I want. And if I click view, you can see that one's labeled pick. So right, pretty applicable for that. And even on fingerstyle too, it adds just a little extra bite. Sounds like an old Gallion-Kruger head, like pretty aggressive. And then heavy is, I believe, all that same stuff, just with that Prize Drive on. Yeah. Like, that's brutal. That sounds great. And the last one is this chorus sound, so I'm just adding that 70s chorus in, taking the Gallion-Kruger out now. I need to tweak those settings a little bit. I haven't used that on any songs yet. I was just anticipating there's got to be something that this chorus is going to fit. And in the case, again, if I'm on this gig, and let's say I do leave all the pedals in the chain, right? And I'm on this, let's say I'm on the pick setting, and I don't want to go so heavy to that. I can just add the pork loin in. And it's similar, but if we had that dialed back a little bit. It's adding a little bit of drive. Really, really loving what the HX Stomp provides for me within this pedal board setup. Although at the beginning I was very, very much overwhelmed. So I'd love to hear anyone, guitar player, bass player's experience out there with HX Stomp or anything multi-effect. If you had a similar experience to mine where it was absolute frustration at first, but once you kind of got through that initial learning curve, you know, it seems like a world of possibilities just really, really opened up. So, you know, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. As I said in the last video, I don't know that I'm going to have any great sage advice for it because I think I'm still gathering that stuff myself. But we're going to show some more on the pedal board. We're going to dive into how I create some ambient textures and soundscapes using the MXR layers, some of the sounds from the HX Stomp, and the Boss SY200, as well as all the other pedals in the chain there. So we'll get a little bit wilder in the next video. Looking forward to that. Greatly appreciate you watching this video. Again, I can't ask you too many times, and I greatly appreciate the support just by you hitting that subscribe button on the channel. Want to build that follower count up and continue to provide hopefully informational video content for everyone out there that's watching this, and a nice supplement to the work that I do over at Empire Music, which is very product demo based. This gives me a chance to dive into some more of my personal life and some of the pursuits of the more creative side of music and of art. We're not going to get too far away from that, so we'll see what you guys think of checking out some artwork here shortly as well. I got some cool stuff I'm working on in the other room. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.